all right. We are live and direct. Man, oh man, oh man. This is pretty cool right here. I like this. Man, I'm looking kind of brand new for the new year, y'all.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. So, family, what's going on? We are back. It is the new year. It is us, the Roundtable Podcast Show. What is going on, everybody? Oh, y'all, don't be shy. Go ahead and speak.
Peace. Happy New Year to everybody. Glad to see everybody's around in 2021.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, sir. So, y'all, I get the opportunity to introduce two amazing individuals that have been with me on this journey. I would be remiss not to introduce the dope sister that is right over there with the dope shirt on, saying Black women matter. Yes, they do.
Pop it.
She is the pit bull in the dress. Her name is Melissa Bartlett. What's going on, sis?
What's going on, bro? Adrian, yes, it's Morathi family.
How you doing?
Everything is good. We are see another year. We are excited about the upcoming year, and yeah, this is just how I'm feeling. Just thinking about everything that happens with us.
Her name is Melissa Bartlett. What's going on?
And just making sure that we are aware that we matter. Medical, mental, physical, which ties into the kings we have on the show tonight. Queens gotta take care of ourselves. We have to be aware, and we need knowledge to do so. So, yes. I'm so excited. First show of the year with our new platform, and it is dope. I can't wait to do more shows.
Yeah, and out here, the brother with the baritone, this man, the myth, the legend himself, Adrian, A-Money Biddle. What's going on, bro?
Hey, family. Blessed and highly favored, man. And blessings to all of y'all. And I'm certainly digging and ready to do this interview with our special guest this evening.
Yes, indeed.
And
yes,
lastly, to round out the group, the man, the conductor, Mr. Urban himself, Mr. Kerry Dish.
That's right.
What's going on? Man, it is good to start this new year off on the right foot, especially with some powerful individuals that I have on here. And I say that sincerely because, again, this has been how many years now, Adrian, that we've been doing this thing?
3.
Numbers guy.
3 years this past August.
3 years this past August. So it has been a pleasant journey. And the reason why it's been a pleasant journey, because we get individuals like this brother to show up on our show to share with us positive attitude, the energies, as well as how to take care of ourselves. And I've known this brother for quite some time. When I talk about one of the realest individuals that you can know that is really concerned about us as a people, this is one of them. For real. He is Morathi Howie, Mr. Vegan Love Culture himself. If you don't know about Vegan Love Culture, we can talk about the supplements that he has that come straight from Mother Africa. We can talk about the Vegan Vibe series that he carries, not only in Charlotte, but also in the Concord area, We can talk about, how he gets on every day almost in order to share with us wealth and knowledge about our health and how we need to connect right back to the spirit itself. Man, I can go on and on, but it's the man that
Hey,
makes
Morathi,
himself.
What don't you do?
Exactly.
Peace, everybody. Thank you for having me back on at the Roundtable. It's good to be back to see such great individuals and people that are putting a lot of time and effort into educating our community on different platforms and what's going on in our communities, and how that we need to be focused on us more than anybody else in order for us to be able to heal and to get our minds back in order, get our bodies back physically in order, so we can be better people for each other. So thank you again for having me on, Pitbull, um, Mr. CD himself, and A Money. Thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, yes, indeed.
All right. Oh, we got our first guest already. Look at that. See how that
Hey,
comes up there?
yeah, I'm noticing that. That's why I was pausing.
Hello,
Yes.
hello.
I'm telling you, it's a new year, a new perspective. So thank you for joining us, Hockey. Oh man, I'm loving this right here, boy. We look kind of professional. Man, all this professional melanin is all up right here.
I might need a hair toss because of that.
Oh,
Uh, uh,
oh.
And we're
So,
gonna jump right in. What are we gonna do, Mr. CD?
no, I say go ahead, y'all run with it because you know how it is. You know me, I get to sit behind the scenes and make things work and stuff, and I get just to bask in y'all excellence. So y'all go right ahead.
oh wow.
Wow.
Hey, well, I guess I'll start off with the first question. For those who haven't actually seen you on the last podcast, on a previous show that we had you on, you are, I call you Mr. Vegan itself. So what actually led you into going vegan?
Yes. I went to North Carolina Central University, and I joined there in 19. Went there my freshman year in 1997, and I always say it's a path that chose me because I became vegan at such an early age. I've been vegan for 23 years. So I started when I was just turning 20, 19, I think in 98, somewhere around. I was just turning 20 because I was 19 when I graduated from high school. And I had a good brother of mine, a good friend of mine. We were actually on our way to Chicken Wednesdays. And I think Chicken Wednesdays happens at almost every historical Black college where they pick that day, and you got chicken in every line. So if there's six lines for people to go and get food, you got fried chicken that's being served with other things. So on our walk to the calf, he revealed to me. He said, "Well, I don't eat meat, right?" I was like, "Okay, what you mean by you don't eat meat?" That same question that a lot of people get asked. And he was like, "Man, I don't eat animals." I was like, "Okay." So he started breaking down to me, certain information, certain Bible verses, speaking to me about what the consumption of meat was doing to our communities. And we was all on our way to. He was breaking this down as we were on our way to Chicken Wednesday. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I get what you're saying, but when I get there, I'm still going to get me some chicken. you know? So one thing I always say is that that truth is verifiable, and so um, uh, truth resonates in the spirit like no other, and that is one of the most powerful things about truth. It will resonate in your spirit. So everything that he was saying was making a lot of good sense. However, my taste buds wasn't trying to hear that. So we sat down. We both went through the line. I watched him get all vegetables, and while I got my chicken, and we sat down and we ate, and he kept educating me. So by the time I had gone back to my dorm, that truth was sitting in my spirit, and I was thinking about high blood pressure, diabetes problems, and gout problems, and eczema problems, and all these things that our people experience in our communities. And then it took me down that rabbit hole. And I got to see how far the rabbit hole would take me as I started doing more research and realizing that Black and brown people we are very lactose intolerant, and finding out more information about that. So one thing led to another that I eventually let go of animals. And I did it at a time where it wasn't popular at all. So, it's a time to be called crazy for doing it, where now it's very, very simple for people to do. But it was one of those things where truth resonated in my spirit, and as it resonated in my spirit, I'm happy to know that the Creator chose me to give up animals at that time and to be a beacon of light to those that may want to do the same thing moving forward into 2021.
Now, Morathi, you have two young prints as well.
Yes.
For people who have families or have children that feel like it's too strenuous, it's just not fair.
Yes.
How do your sons take to the vegan lifestyle, or are they vegan?
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing that I always say is that you know, my sons have certain choices that they can make, but one of them is not gonna be their health. They don't get that choice. They get that choice after they're out under uh parents under parents rules or whatever the case may be. But while they're living with me or while they're living with their mother, we make sure that our children practice a plant-based lifestyle, so they don't get to experience a bunch of McDonald's and things that I grew up eating. They don't get to experience that. That's not a choice that I'm going to give to them, because I understand and know what it does to the body. So a lot of parents, one thing our mothers used to say to us, I'm sure all of us can remember this: you will eat it before it eats you. And it went and 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 it might that when it came to that food thing, it was a dictatorship in the house. It wasn't no such thing as you talking about, oh, I ain't gonna eat this or I'm not gonna eat that. But on a more serious note, one of the what made it so easier for my sons to adapt to eating a more of a plant-based lifestyle is that when they were younger and whenever they were able to start um, eating solid foods or whatever the case may be, I didn't give my boys a chicken bone. They were sucking on watermelons, they were sucking on mangoes, they were sucking on different fruits and vegetables that got their palate ready for it, because that's all it is. You ever remember that child, you give them that first little sucker, and when they get that sucker, their eyes just light up, because that signal of that sugar goes right to their brain, and sugar stimulates the brain the same way crack cocaine stimulates the brain. So when it hit that brain, the child eyes just light up. So you continue to give them that sucker, and then one day you take that sucker away from them, they act a fool, fall out on the floor, crying, just acting out. And it's because the choice of what you gave the child. You chose to give the child sugar. You kept giving the child sugar. So then when that child got to be 5 or 6 years old and you want to take it away from them, you had to deal with the repercussions of what you did as a parent. So some of the parents struggle with these children because they chose to give them McDonald's for 5 to 8 years of their life. And now this health journey is now here, and people are struggling with their kids to get them to get into it. And what I tell parents, once you start to learn this information and you know the importance of eating more fruits and vegetables, or eating the correct things for your babies, you just have to be a dictator at that point. You have to let them know, like, look, this is what we're doing. We're gonna make it healthy, we're gonna make it good, but this is what we're doing. There's no not saying that they can't have those junk food times, because my kids, they get junk food if I want to give it to them. There's Oreos for them to have. You get where I'm coming from? But because I've made that choice of giving them the choice of fruits, now they get to an age where they ask for the strawberries before they ask for the Oreos. You get where I'm coming from?
That's
So
right.
it's one of those type of things where, as parents, we at least have to start giving them that option. And we're not presenting the option to them at an early stage in their life, so it makes it hard. So it's something that you're gonna have to fight through, but it's something that they will adapt to.
I agree with that. I always tell people with children, and even with us as adults, denial is not discipline. You can't keep something away from somebody or something yourself and say, oh, I wouldn't do that or I wouldn't eat that. You're denying yourself it, but you're not disciplining yourself. And that's the people get set up where they go into the New Year resolutions and the new diets, and they say, oh, I'm just not going to eat that. Well, guess what? You're not disciplined. And then you have that setback where you wind up, binging because you really wasn't disciplined to not eat that or drink that. You just denied yourself that. So I love the fact that you give your sons an option and let them make that choice.
And another thing I like to add to that as well is that, there are times that when we as grown-ups, right, as the grown people, the ones that can have the knowledge, have studied on the knowledge, there are certain things that we will not give our children, or we don't want our children to indulge in because we know better, right? So as we're learning what some of these unhealthy foods can do for our bodies, if it starts with the babies, why would we continue this health journey and then say, okay, well, but I'm not gonna make my children do it? It defeats the purpose. It defeats the purpose because if we're trying to break generational curses that come with consumption of food, we have to give our children this understanding. We have to get them on the journey because they're going to be the ones that's going to help break the curse when they get older. If diabetes and high blood pressure and these other health related diseases continue to stick into our communities, will all be based on if we are teaching our children a better way. So we have to teach them. For some reason I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Carrie. Okay.
Yeah, I'm up. Shouts out to everybody. Looks like everybody's coming in, as you can see. Charlie Twos, Jeremiah Holt. Oh man, Shatoya. Okay, hold on, Shatoya.
Peace.
Shatoya got a great question. What body changes did you notice?
Well, one of the first body changes that I noticed is I used to have eczema. I used to have patches of eczema that used to come up in the crevices of my arms. And probably most of our people that have ever dealt with eczema can know about the crevice where it comes up in the crevices or in the joints of your arms and places like that in the back of your legs. So I used to have these patches that would come up. And then once I started to do research on dairy and found out that dairy products was one of the main reasons why eczema runs in the Black community, I let go of dairy. And once I let go of dairy, I saw eczema start to clear up on my body. So that was one of the first things that I noticed. I used to have at one point in time I used to have acne that used to pop up right on my forehead all the time. Used to have just bad acne up there a lot of times. And so as I noticed, as I started to eat more cleaner, started to eat more fruits and vegetables, I noticed my skin cleared up tremendously. I used to have nosebleeds. Sometimes I would wake up just out of nowhere in the middle of the night and just my nose will be bleeding. And I read this book called Milk, the Deadly Substance. I forgot the name of the doctor if I can remember it. But if you look up Milk, the Deadly Substance, this guy went in on how a lot of mucus, nosebleeds, earaches, fevers, and colds and stuff are generated, and a lot of mucus is generated through dairy products. So I noticed all those things started to clear up. The mucus that was in my eyes started to clear up. The nosebleeds stopped. So those were some of the things that I noticed physically.
Oh wow,
man, you've been over here dropping some knowledge. You got me feeling like a straight heathen over here because, as my colleagues know, I love the swine, I love the chicken, I love the fish. But if I was to have to take that leap of faith, what vegan dish would you recommend me trying first? One of your favorites?
Man, one of my if you're going out, I'll speak about if you're going out, okay? All right. There are two different types of lifestyles that I live when it comes to the plant-based vegan lifestyle. Meaning that when I eat Mediterranean foods or Eastern foods are more plants like Ethiopian food, Indian food. You get where I'm coming from?
Mhm.
Uh, uh, Thai food, things of that nature, where they deal with more of the vegetable-based way to make it vegan than the more quote unquote processed way. You get where I'm coming from? So
Gotcha.
I always tell Ethiopian food is great food that I always like to eat. I always get the vegetable combo plate that has so many different types of vegetables that you can try with this dope bread called injitter. And you just take
Mm.
a piece of the bread and you just dip it and you eat it. I'm sure, Carrie, you've seen me post Ethiopian food a few times on my page, and Bitter, you have too. And if I'm eating more of the new age vegan process way, I would tell you to go to Oh My Soul. Oh My Soul is in Noda. Great people, great individuals. They're from South Africa. Shout out to Richard, Jake, and Talani for what they do. They have something called the King Kong Burger. It's called the King Kong Burger,
Mm.
and tell them that you want to substitute the bean burger with the Impossible Patty. Okay, and
Okay.
that burger was known is known as the best was made the best burger in Charlotte in 2020. So it
Oh,
beat out any meat burgers or any burgers. That vegan burger, the Impossible Burger. I mean
okay.
the King Kong Burger. So go there and tell them that you want to get Impossible patties. It's like eating a Big Mac. It is amazing. It's very very good. So that's a favorite for me when it comes to something that I want to eat to just get my taste buds like really like I'm back eating McDonald's or something. Yeah,
Cool. I appreciate that info. I'm already writing the information down. I'm gonna definitely check them out.
Hey,
absolutely. I'm
Sorry, what was
sorry,
that?
what you,
I just said I'm right. I made a mental note. Oh my soul, I have to go to Noda, and
yeah.
definitely, I I am at a point where I'm fighting it, due to digestive issues and things like that.
Hmm.
I said I need to really take a good look at what I'm putting in my body, the reason why I'm having the things and the happenings that I'm having. So I cannot promise Marathi that I will be
Hmm.
totally vegan. However, I am definitely lessening the amount of intake of meat. Absolutely.
And and I'm sorry, that is one of the most key things that you could say. A lot of people, a lot of my followers that tune into me, one of the reasons why they follow me is because I'm not an advocate to tell everybody that you got to become vegan. Um, this is a lifestyle that I chose for myself. However, one of the issues that we are dealing with within our communities is that we're just not eating enough plants anymore. We're
Right.
not we're not we're not consuming enough plants. We're not putting enough greens in our system. We're not eating enough fruits. If you ask the last African American when the last time they had just a thing of plums, some of them can't even tell you when the last time they had plums, probably since they were younger, since they were kids. You get me? So, so these plants were meant to they biologically go with our DNA makeup because we come from the earth. So you have 112 trace minerals in the earth, the same 112 trace minerals in the body. And if you're not going into the earth to replenish those things, this is how disease sets into the body. The body doesn't recognize eating dead animals, and that's it. And a bunch of processed foods and a bunch of fries and a bunch of the DNA, your DNA code has to recognize something to wake up the healing intelligence of your body. And so what I mean by that is that if you take a tomato and you cut a tomato open, a tomato looks like the heart valves. Tomatoes are good for the heart. If you cut a walnut open and you look at a walnut looks like the brain grooves. Walnuts are good for thinking. They're good for the brain. If you take a carrot and you cut a carrot open, what do they say? Carrots are good for eyesight because it looks like the eye retina when you open it up. Carrots are good for the eyes. So the creator knew that we couldn't, if we need an iron for our bodies, the creator knew that we couldn't just take a piece of iron ore and eat some iron ore. So the Creator put it in vegetables for us to get. But what's happening is that we are not doing what our elders once did. Our grandmothers and our great grandfathers and our granddads, they had plenty of meatless meals on a daily basis. They had plenty of meatless meals. If you talk to any of your elders and you ask them how many meatless meals that they have growing up, they'll tell you they had plenty of them. Pinto beans, cabbage, cornbread, black-eyed peas, greens, and that was it. They did that on plenty of times. Eating meat was more of a celebration or a delicacy because we couldn't afford to eat meat all the time. So we grew our food and we ate our food. We were always a plant-based people. If you go back to our ancestry, back into Africa, all we did, we had all the land, we had all the sun, and we had all of the water to grow food. That's what we did. So when you look at the watermelon, when you look at the black-eyed pea, when you look at the lima bean, when you look at okra, when you look at yams, cassava, there's so many I'm skipping. These are all African indigenous foods. These are all African indigenous foods. How did these foods get here? Our women, who were the first doctors and nutritionists in our families, they put these seeds in their hair. When they came over, they planted it for us to have food to eat. This is why we eat these things in our communities. This is why we eat this all the time. And I'm speaking on this based on the fact that they just did this thing, a couple of days ago about eating black-eyed peas and greens as being a New Year's tradition. That wasn't a New Year's tradition for us. That's something our grandmothers gave us all the time. We ate that all the time. It wasn't a New Year's tradition. It was something that we always ate because we understood by making these things properly, it could heal the body. By making these foods had healing mechanisms for the body. And we have to go back into the earth to be able to heal our body. So it's not about going all the way vegan or plant-based, but we have to start doing that more often than we do eating the American standard diet.
I always talk about my roots growing up in Montgomery and of course Pittsburgh. And I wouldn't change growing up in Montgomery for anything because it taught me how to truly eat in season and knew what it was, the farm to table. There were certain things that was grown, certain things that was farmed, certain times of the year, and that's what we ate. And so having the peas and having the greens and some of the stuff I didn't like rutabaga and okra and all that kind of stuff, but those are things that were on the table. And yeah, this is still where you can have meat, but that meat was like a portion and your plate was full with, what we call sides now. But
that's right.
The main thing, that you got an abundance of. So totally I identify and can agree with what you were saying just now.
Mm-hmm. So Toya has posed a very good question. What do you think about this, Morathi? My daughter babysits a 4-year-old being raised vegan. Did you find it hard being around others who eat meat while transitioning? I worry about that with him coming over.
I think that yes, especially I started at the age of 20, so for so many years of my life, how I was eating meat, I was eating certain things that had already had a grasp to my taste buds. However, it's not the earlier that you start, the better it is. The better it is, and also once you start to get the understanding of the reason why you're doing it, because by far we do it for health reasons. We lead in every health related disease in America. When you go back into any of our communities, we're suffering from health related diseases that come to food. And once you start to understand that and see that, some of that what would be hard to be around, it goes out the door because you start to look at that food differently. You don't see that food as something of a struggle that you're dealing with. You see that food as something that, that food right there causing problems in my community. It's causing problems. I've watched what that food do to people. So Therefore, it's the thing where you like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. That chicken might smell good, or that pork might smell good, but I already know what that's gonna do to my body. So I'm good with that. So but I think that, you know, as someone continues to be in the lifestyle, the discipline that you have along with the information, it's something that you'll be able to conquer. And another thing I'll say is that um when I strayed away, there were times where I would say that I would leave uh beef alone for 4 or 5 months, right? And someone would say to me, okay, well, you know what? I think I want to try a burger. And I'm talking about I might take one bite out of it, and the next thing you know, my stomach aching. I'm just having certain problems in my body to let me know that okay, I can't even resort back to that anyway, because I can already feel what it's doing to my body. So it's a thing where sometimes when you start to let those things go, and then you may have that urge to come back to it, your body will let you know that you can't even go back to eating that.
That's what's up. Shout out to Letitia Lewis. Shout out to Letitia Lewis. Morathi. I don't know if you know Miss Letitia Lewis, but she's a fellow holistic sister in regards to the foods that we eat, the things that we do. I want to introduce both of y'all so y'all can vibe.
Okay. I was looking at
Morathi.
I'm sorry. I was peace to you. I was trying to get better look at it because I'm on my phone. But okay. All right. Nice to meet you.
Okay, and I just got word from Miss Digsby. She just mentioned this question in regards to Morathi. Please tell the people about the supplements. She's an avid fan. She's been using them for quite some time.
Okay. Yes. For those who don't know, Carrie, you know, and I think everyone knows that I lived in Africa for 11 years. From 2006 to 2017, I up to go and visit Africa, and a 30-day visit ended up being 11 years on the continent. And there is where I discovered the power of the African soil and what the African soil means for not only our bodies, but for humanity. And so I discovered a lot of great superfoods over there. One being moringa, that a lot of people are very, very aware of, where now a lot of people know more about moringa. But I've been taking moringa since 2006. And so the very first time that I discovered moringa, there was a guy who had, they did an interview on him in Zimbabwe in the newspaper, and he had AIDS. And quite frankly, he was on his deathbed. He was a skeleton. And so they interviewed his doctor. They showed his before and after blood work. They interviewed him, and they put him on moringa for 6 months. And when they put him on moringa for 6 months, they showed his before and after. He was back to regular size. He was up out of the bed. He wasn't bedridden. He could get around, and they could not find AIDS in his system anymore. Now, what I advocate and tell somebody that heals AIDS, no, I'm not a fool, but what I do know is that that moringa alkalines the system out. So it whatever ailments that you may have going on, Carrie or Biddle or Pitbull, what I have going on may be all different. So moringa, it goes into your body and it attacks those ailments to balance out and alkaline your system back out. It fights over 300 diseases in the body, has over 46 antioxidants. Matter of fact, I got it right here. 92 essential nutrients, 36 anti-inflammatories, 18 amino acids, 9 essential amino acids, 3 times the amount of protein that's in yogurt, 3 times the amount of potassium that's in bananas, 4 times the amount of calcium that's in milk, 4 times the amount of vitamin A that's in carrots, and 7 times the amount of vitamin C that's in oranges, and so on and so on. If you go to Johns Hopkins University did a whole thing on moringa, and they give a whole breakdown of what moringa does for the body. So that's a superfood that I tell a lot of people to get on, because I've gotten people off of high blood pressure pills, leveled out A1C counts, energy level has gone to a different level. mental clarity has gotten better. My sister,
Mhm.
my sister iron levels used to be so low. My sister Latisse Howie, shout out to my big sister Latisse Howie, her iron levels had gone all the way down to like a 7 or so, or 8 or so, and she thought she was gonna have to have a blood transfusion. And I was like, sis, I was like, yo, get on the moringa. You know, I told you about what the moringa could do. So she got on the moringa and came back, and her blood level went from a 7 all the way up to like 11 or 12. So it's good for giving iron to the body, but it addresses so many different things in the body. So that's one. I'll bring in another one called butterfly pea flower tea that Miss Pitbull can kind of speak on and tell a lot of people about what it's been doing for her her daughters and for her. But this tea helps to reverse cysts, fibroids, excessive bleeding, cramping, bloating, hormonal disbalances, hot flashes, cramping, and many other things within women. And it is a tea that it can, men can take it, but it's more beneficial for women for what it does for women. And so I've had women that, you know, one thing within the African American community, especially, our women, they just gonna be coming up to men talking about what's going on in their reproductive system. They just don't do that. And so, but because of what this tea was doing for so many people, I started having a lot of women reach out to me because they were dealing with heavy menstrual bleeding, cramping, hot flashes, and bloating, and things of that nature. And it's a game changer for women. I would tell any women to get on it. If you have any daughters that's dealing with those menstrual cramps, that bloating, headaches, or just real bad situations during their menstrual cycle, is very good for them. If you're dealing with hormonal disbalances, hot flashes, is very good as well. So I don't know how many you want me to name, Carrie. I can speak about a few more. I can just run the list, but just let me know.
Well, man, they're popping in now. See, I knew by doing that you was going to open up the floodgates. Mahogany wants to know where to get it, so we're going to give Mahogany your website information if that's okay. So she can definitely reach out to you about that.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem. We also
okay.
Most of my herbs, my spiritual father, he is on the board of traditional healers of Ghana, but he is from Chicago, but he has land in Ghana. He lives in Ghana. He comes back and forth. So the herbs that I get come strictly out of Ghana. I used to bring them out of Zimbabwe, but Zimbabwe's under sanctions, so it was hard for me to get them in and out. But Ghana and America has good relations, so everything is now cleared through Ghana to come in. So I can get almost any herb that's accessible in Ghana. I bring in turmeric from out of Africa. I bring in this one called strongman herb. It's for men. It helps to strengthen the prostate, gets rid of any swollen prostates, strengthens the urine stream. It's like giving the body testosterone times 3 or 4. But more than anything, it'll take a man from T'Challa the Black Panther overnight in bed. Just plain out and simple.
Say it ain't so.
Wakanda forever.
Yes. You'll be T'Challa throughout the day and be Black Panther in the night.
Yeah. I did not concede.
Yeah.
I can say, ladies, it is worth the investment. And if your man doesn't want to, and not just talking about the strongman herb, but just in general, because our men are a little shy when it comes down to their health. So you want to make sure that we may have to take that initiative to say, hey, I'm buying this for you. You try it, give it a month.
Wow.
You don't want to do it anymore after that, then fine. And then go from there, because it's definitely worth us living. I own moringa and the flower. And when I tell you that you only need a couple of the flowers, I steep the water. It turns this beautiful, like bluish purple. I add just a couple drops of honey to it, and I take it. My daughters take it. And the moringa is one of the things that I was literally, I got the powder Morathi. And it's hard for me to mix into like water, and I don't do like
Mm-hmm.
smoothies and stuff. So I was putting it in my capsules and taking it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
In
Mm-hmm.
order for me to be able to take it, and I can honestly feel a difference in my energy levels. Feel a difference in everything. And so it does give you mental clarity. It is the truth. And so people, family, I'm telling you, go to his website. You will definitely benefit from these things. And Morathi has the authentic herbs from our continent. And you'll see other things on Amazon, and you can go to GNC and you can go to these other places, but they're cutting them. They are not authentic and they are not pure.
Hey, speaking. Oh,
I'm
go ahead,
sorry. Go
Morathi.
ahead.
Oh, you fine? Go ahead, man.
Okay. I like. Thanks for bringing that up, Pitbull, because one thing that I always like to explain to people when it comes to the power of the soil. See, one thing about Africa is that they speak about what's been stolen out of Africa. Every time you see Africa, or they show the continent of Africa, they show the natural resources. They talk about Britain stealing the natural resources, Italy, America, everybody taking natural resources out from under the ground. But they never talk about the natural resources that are still there, because they have already said that they've only touched the tip of the iceberg of all the natural resources that are in Africa for all the years they've been taking them. When those natural resources, platinum, gold, diamonds, chrome, copper, uranium, you can keep naming them. When they combine together, nobody speaks about the vegetation that grows on top because of those natural resources. That's what I call the green gold. That's the green gold. And those are the plants, the natural. You don't have to call it organic over there. That's just what it is. The food, the minerals and the nutrients that come in an apple that you can't compare to an apple that you buy out over here, because the soil is not the same. Africa is the greatest continent on the planet because it has all of the natural resources to run the world. That's why everybody's over there stealing those natural resources. But nobody has tapped into the fact that the power of that soil is what keeps those people so healthy over there. And that's the reason why you can't find COVID over there. You can't find it because they eat from that earth. They're under the sun. They walk on that earth every single day. So the herbs that I bring in, like you said, yeah, you can find moringa in Walmart. You can find it in different places. However, there's a difference between African moringa and what they're growing over here in America. There's no comparison.
Wow. So, hey, Morathi, I got to do a shameless plug now because you forgot one thing.
Okay.
You got to share with the people about the sea moss.
Okay, absolutely, absolutely. Sea moss is we bring in sea moss from out of St. Lucia, and it's wild caught sea moss. We just brought in actually 1,000 pounds of sea moss in. I haven't put it on the website yet. However, we want to be major players in America in general when it comes to sea moss. So you can buy bulk sea moss from us. Um, Shout outs to Dr. Sabi. May his soul rest in eternal peace forever. I'm sure that his spirit, is in awe at him speaking about sea moss and what sea moss has now turned into in America, in our communities, and just in America in general. It's one of the most powerful sea vegetables that one can get for their body. Um, just like a lot of the vegetables that we don't eat on the earth, the sea is a total different world. And the sea has many powerful nutrients and veggies, minerals and nutrients that's in the vegetation in the sea that we don't get. But the same way that most of us get our plants from eating other animals, so we eat regurgitated things that cows eat instead of just going to the source. That's the same way with the sea. A lot of people eat a lot of seafood instead of just going and getting the plant and eating the plant that the seafood is nibbling on. So sea moss is one of those plants that provides over the same thing, 92 essential nutrients. It's good for the lymphatic system, the respiratory system, detoxifying the blood, the kidneys. It is a it is a must to keep in your body because of all the natural healing mechanisms that come with it. So it's something that we also provide. We also provide it in the gel form, and yeah, that. And I'll speak about soursop leaves. We bring in soursop leaves. Soursop is known for reversing or killing off cancer cells in the body. Purdue University did their research on soursop leaves, and they said it's like giving the body chemotherapy times 4, but it doesn't kill off your good cells. It only kills off the cancerous malignant cells in the body. So it is my uncle, just recently, my uncle Phelpson, he's about 69 years old, just a regular brother, just like many still eat from the rooter to the tutor whenever he want to. But he 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 was almost diagnosed with liver cancer. And it was to the point where they just knew that he had it. So I got him on the soursop leaves for about 3 months. He went back, and that had gone into remission to the point where the doctors just told him to keep doing what he's doing. And he knows for a fact the only thing that he's changed is just taking the soursop leaves. One more testimony. Had a I used to go to a free yoga class before COVID hit in Kannapolis, North Carolina. And when I was going to that yoga class, you have different instructors. So the one time that I chose to go again, there was a instructor from Sri Lanka, out of India, and someone had told her what I did. So she was like, "Hey, I hear you bring in herbs. Well, I'm familiar with moringa because it grows in India, XYZ." She said, "But oh, you also deal with soursop." I was like, "Yes, I deal with soursop." She said, "That's an amazing plant." So she had me stand up in front of the class to speak about soursop, or my herbs. But when I got the soursop, she stopped me. She said, "No, let me talk about soursop." Me being from Sri Lanka, we have the lowest cancer rate in the whole entire world, and we pride ourselves on drinking the soursop tea. So we know exactly what soursop does because of what it's been doing for our bodies for centuries. And we pride ourselves on having the lowest cancer rate in the whole entire world. So soursop is another good one for even high blood pressure, diabetes, inflammation issues, detoxifying the body as well.
Man, amazing.
Man, I haven't learned all of this since I've been in school. Just an abundance of information.
Oh man, gonna be a test afterwards.
Oh yes.
I'll just kidding.
Hey, but not only being a motivator, as everybody that has had the opportunity to hear right now, and being the CEO of Vegan Love Culture, you also was a collaborator on Vegan Vibe Music series. For those who don't know about that, can you tell our viewers what that was?
Yes, absolutely. And again, a shout out to my big sister, Morathi Howie. They call us Big Sis and Little Bro. But we one day, me and my sister, we had just hosted Beltree's vegan soulful fest, and that's when we brought Tabitha Brown in and things of that nature. And the next day, me and my sister was just brainstorming on what we saw from Vegan Soulful Fest and what we thought could happen, or what could happen in Charlotte as far as bringing the awareness. So my sister was like, well, why don't we come up with something that infuses more live music? Instead of so much education, let's make it more of a thing where people can sit around and enjoy themselves and learn more about the vegan lifestyle. And so we came up with Vegan Vibe Music Series, where for 7 weekends in a row, we do something where we do all vegan everything: vegan food trucks, vegan pop-up vendors, eco-friendly products, with live music and live DJs. And it's a great event. We've done it for 2 years in a row. This time we only did it for 5 weeks, but usually we do it for 7 weeks. And it's amazing being able to bring so much awareness to especially our communities about the vegan plant-based lifestyle, because it's really a thing where people there's so many questions about the lifestyle, and some people don't know what to eat, some people don't know where to start. And so we launch Vegan Vibe music series to be able to give people that platform to come taste so many different selections of food from different vegan food trucks, from different vegan chefs. And we do them at breweries. So if you like to drink beer, you can have you some good vegan beer or whatever beer you want to drink and enjoy good music, love, family, do some shopping with the vendors, and really, really just learn more about the lifestyle and also support the community in the same time.
That's what's up. Man, I'm telling you, brother is a multi-talented, just doing everything. But one of the things I loved is Morathi, and this is for me, as far as your involvement in the community, as far as, you know, anytime someone needs, you know, that voice of wisdom and such, you've done a lot for us as well. How important is that to you as far as connecting with the community and just sharing with them everything that you gain from the motherland and then bringing it back here? You know, you and I, we've talked about it, but I really want you to share with the people about that.
It is a passion. It's a passion that I have because I know what the Creator told me. One thing about Africa is that Africa gives you a chance to step outside of the fast world of first world countries. So when you go to third world countries, anybody that's been to any third world country, everything slows down. So there's more time to hear yourself think, meditate, pray, and be in that meditative state in peaceful places. So at the time period, I asked the Creator, how is it that I can continue to be a servant to His people? And it came back clear as day to continue to speak to people about the plant-based lifestyle and educate them on the importance of being an example of someone who works out and exercises to show what it means to be to not look your age. Just so many different things started coming to me. And you know, also man, it's like, you know, I'm also a revolutionary by spirit. So there are certain platforms and things that I love to speak to my people about health and wellness and about eating the correct way. But when it comes to certain social issues and things that our people go through, I also know the platform that I have. And I can't, there's so many times that spirit is, I always say something called cry loud and spare not. Spirit tells me to cry loud and spare not. And when spirit tells me to cry loud and spare not, it can be on health issues, it can be on social issues. However, I have to speak on what spirit is telling me. So it is an honor to do it because I know that we all have if we had a community right now, we would have people that are the engineers, we would have the lawyers, we would have all the people that are professions in what they know. And so for me, in my profession is teaching my people about health and wellness, about keeping their bodies in order, and the importance of community and what it means for our community. And so I always say that I talk to my people first, and then whoever else wants to hear it is theirs as well. But I always start with my people first. So it's an honor for me to do it, and for those that will never make it to Africa, I'm gonna bring Africa to them. So they may not never make it to Africa. They may not, if they can't get those herbs, let me bring those herbs to them, because when we came over here, they only brought us to do hard labor. We had to sneak certain foods over, but we didn't have any of our herbs to come over. And our herbs have been what has healed our bodies for years. So for those that can't make it to Africa, I'll bring Africa to them.
I like that.
Yes. And I'm gonna add to the family, for those who don't know, this is such a tremendous king that has so much to give. And he is one of the most humble people you will ever meet out in the street.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Morathi.
Yes.
One of the things that we noticed, especially at Vegan Love culture and in the Vegan Vibe series, is how you were able to make that pretty much everyone came as family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, got a question that just popped up. I'm gonna hold my question. I definitely want Shatoya to get this one in. She just popped in.
Okay.
She said, good stuff. She said, I'm around vegans a lot. However, I have never been touched spiritually as to why I should change diets other than it's better for you. So I thank you. Had to share that.
Thank you.
Had to share that.
Thank you.
That's deep. That's deep. So one of the things that I noticed though at the Vegan Vibe series, you had so many different food trucks and individuals that had the vegan, just the, I wouldn't even say the vibe, but it's the atmosphere. Was that what you were really looking forward to in order to introduce it to the public? Because it was a totally different atmosphere when you came out there. And even the one that's in Concord, and when this thing lifts, of course, you guys will still be doing it. Is that the atmosphere you was hoping to share with the public?
Absolutely, because there is a stigma that's being created about vegans, and that stigma is that they can be too high and mighty, you know, and you know, shunning people for not being a vegan, and that's not what it's about. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have to make it where people feel good about it, and they don't feel like, well, man, you know, I can't get it right, you know, and then you're not making it easy on me because you're saying that I'm this way or I'm that way, and that's not how you bring community and love together. So Vegan Love Culture is my company, which means going back into the earth for healing, for health, and to unite the human families. So there has to be love always involved in it, you know. And one thing about our people is we've always liked good music and we've always liked good food, and that's pretty much a universal thing. People like that. So you create environments where people don't feel like that they're going to be looked at wrong because they're not getting it right. They're not going to be looked at wrong because they may not look like the typical vegan. You know, this thing is don't get me wrong, I have a very spiritual connection to animals. I believe that animals are other spirit beings in a different form. So I believe that animals communicate with us. They know they can hear us. They communicate back. A mother cow, a mother with her babies wants to protect her babies just like a human mother wants to protect her babies. However, I didn't come into this lifestyle because of animals. I came into this lifestyle because how we were dealing with so many health related problems in our communities, and that's what brought me into the lifestyle. So you can bring awareness to animals. However, us as Black people, we're going through so many other social issues and so many other things that have kept us oppressed for so long. It's hard for us to concentrate on saving the animals. It's hard for us to concentrate on that because we're constantly trying to save ourselves for so many things we're dealing with over here in this society. You get me? We don't have time to focus in on that. So it's in order for our people to get a better understanding about what this lifestyle is about, you create environments where they feel comfortable, something that they want to come back to, and they don't feel like they're going to have the finger being pointed at them because they don't understand it the correct way, but a place where they can learn and be like, wow, I didn't know that a vegan burger tastes like this. Or I didn't know that I could find something that tastes like chicken. Or I didn't know that they make vegan mac and cheese and vegan mac and cheese tastes like that. So that's what the whole thing was about. So yes, that was our point.
Very good. Very, 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 very good. Well, family, we're getting ready to come up on the time and such. So I definitely want to ask, if you got any other questions, please definitely post them. Pitbull, A-Money, what y'all think? Ready to make that switch?
I'm already in the process. Like I said, I'm eating less and less meat. So I don't know if I will be vegan, but I will definitely less and less meat. But I would like to say, Morathi, while we are at that final seconds, please let the people know how to contact you and how to follow you. And if that information needs additional to start to order, because I know we have a lot of our family that are interested in those herbs.
Yes, yes, absolutely. On my Instagram page is also Morathi Howie, Morathi. My name is up there, Howie. Our page on Instagram is Vegan Vibe Series, Vegan Vibe Series. My YouTube page is Vegan Love Culture. Also, of course, my Facebook page is Morathi Howie, and also Vegan Food Network. Vegan Food Network is a network where people are being able to come in and find out more about the lifestyle. It's where we interviewed, me and my sister interviewed Tabitha Brown, some sisters out of Coco and Lala out of Minnesota that's doing great things. But we'll continue to interview people and put that on Vegan Food Network channel. Yeah, and and if you Google my name, you'll see everything I'm about, and you'll be able to get in contact with me. And my website is theblcshop.com. That's THE as in V as in Victor, L as in love, C as in Charlie, shop.com, theblcshop.com. And that's the way you can get in contact with me. And if you don't mind, I always like to read something from a book that's I think is very, very important to our people dealing with our health issues. And I want to read this out to the people.
Please go ahead, bro.
Okay, this comes from a book called Shifting Your Paradigm for Optimum Health and Longevity by Dr. Ushaka Craig. And it goes as stated, as African Americans, our experiences, beliefs, and values have been shaped and molded from our historical past. It was a past that included enslavement, emancipation, discrimination, and the struggle for civil rights and other social issues. It was a past that kept us engaged in a continuous struggle. However, as it relates to the reality of our health, we find ourselves leading the National Health Index of heart disease, cancer, strokes, diabetes, kidney and liver disorder, respiratory and autoimmune diseases. Why are we leading the National Health Index? Simply, it involves the food that we put into our body. The foods that we love are the same foods that contribute to our ill health. Therefore, we need to understand the dynamics of nutrition and begin to change our thinking and behavior as it pertains to the food we eat. We need education more than medication. And that is one of the most truest statements because um, we we've been engaged in so many social issues and struggles, we have put our health on the back end. And in order for us to continuously to be here and to reverse these generational curses that come from what we're eating, we're going to have to go back and resort back into the earth. That will be the only way that we're going to be able to start healing our bodies.
Wow.
Man,
Very
man.
poignant. Yeah.
Very poignant. Man,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you, Morathi, brother.
Thank you.
Blessed every time you come on, man. Every time you interact with us, we thank you for all that, man.
Every time.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's always good. It's always good to be on.
I leave today's show feeling a little warmer.
Just a little bit, and not so guilty, right? A money, just a
Yes.
little love.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I'm gonna do a shameless plug. I'm gonna go in here now and heat up this Beyond Burger and this salad that we got on the side because bro, your sis was talking about for 2 weeks we're gonna do all plant-based diet. I said 2 weeks. She said 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we've been in the stores looking at field roast sausage and
Yeah.
Beyond Burger and Impossible Meat and oh man, it's just and it's interesting because she's gluten tolerant, so she has to be very careful in regards to the items and such. So I definitely want you to get with her to kind of like point her in the right direction in regards to some things that you know of. And man, as always, you're a blessing. So, yo, family,
Absolutely.
Y'all got any questions? Anything else you want to share with Morathi before we sign off on this thing?
I always when people certain people ask me about the lifestyle and how to get started, I always tell people to start off with Meatless Mondays. Meatless Mondays is a easy way to start off. You got 53 Mondays throughout a year or 52. just taking that Monday and making every meal a meatless meal from lunch, breakfast, and dinner, or how many times, I mean, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or how many times that you eat, just eat a vegan, plant-based lifestyle. And it's all about accumulation. You can either accumulate good health or you accumulate bad health. And what we are seeing within our communities that we are accumulating bad health from the same unhealthy habits for years and years and years. And the body will eventually break down. Eventually, the immune system will stop working for you and doing the correct things for you when you're not putting the correct things in your body. So you can accumulate good health by good habits. So start with meatless Mondays. It may take you to Tuesdays and Wednesday. It may take you all the way into the vegan lifestyle. You never know, but a good place to start is on meatless Mondays. So I always tell people do meatless Mondays, you know?
What's up? As you see, Mahogany just said the same thing. She was like, good idea. I may start with meatless Mondays.
Yeah. And it's a good thing to do with, it's a good way to incorporate that with family. Just tell your children, okay, we're gonna be doing this meatless Monday thing. Let's get in here and make some meals. I've seen a lot of parents help their children learn more about the lifestyle by making meatless Monday something that you do as a family, and it makes it a lot more easy at times.
Oh, so family, if you do your meatless Mondays and you start, post the dish that you make. Post
exactly
it to our website and our page, so we can then maybe get the recipes and we can start sharing some of those meals, and we can have a movement of meatless Mondays. We'll start out with that. So whatever you do, whoever joins in and start with meatless Mondays, just give us a quick description and a picture, post it on the page. We would love to share it, and we'd love to try to make it as well.
Good idea.
That's dope.
I like that. I definitely like that. All right, family. Well, gosh, it's that time once again.
That time.
Hate to do it, but gotta pay the electric bill. Gotta go to cook dinner.
Yeah.
Gotta get ready for work. Man, we could be on here all night. But it's amazing that we get the opportunity to hang out with Morathi Howie, Mr. Vegan Love Culture himself. And with that being said, family, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and close it out. Hey, Money?
Hey, only thing I can say, I leave this show a little bit more knowledgeable, and I appreciate you bringing the knowledge, my friend.
Absolutely, brother.
Pitbull.
Honor to be in the privilege of your knowledge, King. And yes, absolutely. I'm already a person that uses the herbs, testament to them, and slowly on my tiptoes, getting closer to a meatless lifestyle.
Excellent. One more thing I want to say about the herbs, especially during the time period now with what we're dealing with. We need to really focus on our immune systems and keeping our immune system strong and keeping them at a high level. And that depends on the owner of the body. The immune system was built to fight for us. That's what the immune system is there for. That's why y'all put it there. But if we don't help the immune system by giving the body the correct things to help the immune system to continue to stay strong, like I was saying, the immune system will slowly but surely break down, and then sickness comes into play. Whether it's this virus, whether it's the flu, whether it's anything, so many different things can attack the body when the immune system is down. So these herbs are known for boosting the immune system, giving you a lot of vitamin C, a lot of vitamin D, and zinc, especially those that they speak about that helps you to be able to fight this virus off. So having these herbs in your system is very, very important just for that alone. So I just wanted to say that.
All right. Thank y'all once again for joining us on At the Roundtable Podcast Show. Mahogany said it best. Good night, everybody. Great show. And yes, it was. And last but not least, let's go ahead and send our positive energies and love to Dr. Dre. We just got word about him as far as, the aneurysm that he has. Let's keep everybody in prayer, Lord. Lift them up, Lord, and just make sure that everybody knows the power that is within them, like Morathi just said. And if you get a chance, share the show. Okay. we're fortunate because we got to do it not only on Facebook, we also got to do it on YouTube. So if you know someone who is not on Facebook and they just want to watch something on YouTube, go to our YouTube channel as well. So you check it out. This brother has a wealth of knowledge. Check him out. His website was posted here as well. Get your moringa, get your butterfly PT, soursop. I mean, just a host of things. It's funny, and I'll let you guys go. But we always hit Morathi about this product, and we traveled to Concord in order to get it. We're in the parking lot, and Renee said to me one time, "Man, it's like a drug deal." I said, "But yeah, but it's extending our lives."
That's right. That's right.
So,
hey,
you know,
that's why they call me the healthy dope man.
Exactly. My brother.
Nothing makes you come
My
to
brother, I love
Concord
it.
for the herbs and the watermelon family. Make you travel.
Hey man, we'll go. And that's another thing too, guys. Y'all check Morathi out too, especially during the summertime. Not only for Vegan Vibe series, but he always tells us where to go to get some of the best vegetables, the best fruits, the herbs. He even posted a question not too long ago in regards to, you know, I do this all the time, Morathi, just to let you know, but I love going to the flea market, and you go to where the Latinos have their market in order to get a lot of your stuff. And I thank you for saying that in regards to how we can blow money on frivolous stuff, but we have access to those herbs and those vegetables and those fruits and stuff that are just amazing. But you question, do we even spend money on that? Thank you.
Absolutely. Just to reiterate that, we have the Latinos right next door to us, and they're providing all these great fruits and vegetables from where they're from. But we never go into their stores. We never go into the Indian stores. We never go into the Chinese stores. You get where I'm coming from? Yep. And sometimes we say we don't have access. It's just that you have to understand that they're bringing these foods in for their community, but it's for anybody. And at any of these places, you can use the EBT card, you know, so you have to go there and you have to find out where you have access to be able to get these things that you might not have directly in the community. So, yeah.
Good word, man. Good word. Y'all, we can be on here all night. I'm gonna tell you, we'll get we gotta go. All right, y'all heard it first right here at the Roundtable Podcast Show. Check us out, share, show the love. We'll check y'all very soon.
Peace.
My family.
Peace.